Hello, everyone. Well, that was a strange intro today because, as you notice, my wife is not here. She's actually filming today, and she's in Pennsylvania. And we were hoping that she would be here, but obviously she's not. So this is a chair right here. But I'm excited today because we have Mekayla Rayne coming on later on. I'm very excited about this. I'm very, very excited about this. We're going to have a chat with her. We're going to talk about her acting career. We're going to talk about her new album that came out. And make sure that you go and buy the music like I did. um, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to wait too long, but I'm going to show you Mekayla.
Yes, because he's confused. Because he's trying to pretend that everything is A-okay. Because he thinks he knows what he wants when he doesn't.
I know that it hurts
Okay,
right now,
if you're gonna say something cliche like, it'll get better, you can save it.
I don't understand you.
I don't expect you to. You just sit there, happily digging your own grave. I have done everything I possibly can to support you. My parents have offered time and time again to pay for your rehab.
Why?
I didn't say that. Did I say that? No. I'll take that lawyer now.
Was your fix, right? Because your life is more important than his.
Hello again. Yeah, this feels a little bit strange being by myself. Daryl, thank you for coming in, flying solo. I was actually going to send you the link so you could come in and chat with me, but you could chat there where you're at. For everybody that's coming in, that was Mekayla Rayne, and we were showing her acting chops. I know Mekayla since she was a little kid, very young. So she started with this dream of her since she was, well, we're going to ask her how old she was when she started. And now she has this CD, this album, and we're going to discuss her album because it's very interesting. There's a couple of questions that I have for her, and I'm going to bring her in now. She's back there on the green screen. Hello.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're really excited to have you. I'm sorry that my wife is not here, but you know how the business is.
Mm-hmm.
When they call you away, you have to go away. And she left 6:30 this morning, and she told me she may not be able to come back because she was doing this long commercial in Pennsylvania. It's 2 hours away.
That's so cool, though, that she's like working in commercials and stuff. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, she's busy doing that, and she does voiceover like you. Now let me ask you. So I've known you for a long time, and I had taught you a couple of things.
A couple of things, yeah. You're the reason that I can play guitar. So yeah, I would say.
Well, the reason why you could play guitar, and I like that people say that, but the reason why you could play guitar is because you were so dedicated to it. I was just simply a tool, and I opened that class, and most of the people that I have, taught guitar, they went on and did albums like you did.
That's so cool.
So I like the content of the songs that you have, and we're gonna play one of these the songs that you have in there, and then we're gonna talk about it. So you could tell me a little bit about it, and let me just put some of the comments there. Do you know this girl?
Oh my gosh, Megan, you know this girl. We did gymnastics and guitar. You taught her guitar as well.
That's right.
Thank you, Megan. Love you.
Well, thank you for coming, Megan. So tell me, where did you get the idea for this album?
Okay, so the album is called Here I Am. And
Mhm.
ever since I started writing songs and stuff, and since I put out my first single, I wanted my first album to be called Here I Am because I
Mhm.
thought it was a perfect introduction to me
Mhm.
as a musician. And so every song from the album comes from like a feeling or like a story that I've experienced. Like it's they're all a part of me. And
Mhm.
so I'm really quite proud of this album because, you know, I wrote all of the songs myself and I recorded and like produced them all myself. So it's like
Right.
just a piece of me, a complete piece of me that's out there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. You know, I was listening to the name "Can Anybody Hear Me,"
Mhm.
and I was listening to the lyrics of it, and that's a very important song for the the way the people that are growing up. And have you ever been like in a room, and you probably have, being in a room full of people, but you feel like nobody knows you there?
Yes, absolutely. That's 100% the kind of feeling that that song like came from. I'm so glad that you said that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
because that's the feeling that I was getting, because a lot of people go through that and don't know. I think that the content of this song is very important, what you're saying, because a lot of people go through that, you know. And when you could listen to the song and listen to the lyrics on it, it hits home.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is one of the deeper ones I would say that I've written because it's such a like you said a feeling of, you know, there's a million people around, but, you know,
Hmm.
can anybody hear me? Is anybody really listening to what I'm saying? You know, that whole idea. So that completely encapsulates the song, I feel like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How I'm gonna play another video, and
Okay.
then I want you to tell me how you felt that day. I could only imagine how you felt, okay? But I'm gonna play this other video.
Okay.
Learned to play over 5 instruments, a huge help in creating her new singles, Tell My Story, the first song Mekayla's ever released. Mekayla's working on a second single and hopes to announce its release date on her social media soon. Here's Tell My Story, premiere on 98.3 WSUL. Fire in my heart. Oh my God, I heard it on the radio. Fire in my lungs, taking my oxygen. I don't need a cure. I am not in pain. All I feel is an intense numbing. My brain is not okay. I don't need no one's love. Shouldn't be the one else. I might be burning, but they say it's for the better. My life won't be in vain. You can call me insane, but I'll go down as a martyr. Yeah, that was crazy.
What a feeling that must be to hear yourself in the video.
Insane. It was so insane because, you know, that's something that I've always dreamed of. Like you said, I've been wanting to do music since since as long as I can remember. Like my memories start, I wanted to do music. That's the same time.
Hmm.
And just to hear, like, you hear yourself on the radio and like the introduction, even like talking about me and how long I've
Hmm.
been doing music and like the instruments that I play and everything. And it's like, it's surreal. It's like, is this happening? You know, you have to like take a second and really think about it and like really appreciate the moment. I know it's something that I'm never going to forget ever for the rest of my
Oh,
life.
never. That's why I wanted to play that, because I see the first time that we saw like my wife's name on the screen. I know what a feeling that was, because right away we started pulling the phone, like we got to record this, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Yes.
so I could only imagine how. Now you started acting before you started singing.
Actually, well, publicly, yes.
Hmm.
I have been wanting to be a singer, and like music has always been the love of my life since
Hmm.
I could remember. But like performing, I did start acting first when I was 6 years old. I was in a musical
Right.
at the Rivoli Theater, which has since become like my second home,
Hmm.
and I just fell in love with like being on stage and like the lights and everything, and I haven't stopped since. And ever since that moment, I was like, I always knew I wanted to be a singer and do music, but ever since
Hmm.
that moment, I was like, I think also acting. Yeah.
Right. So now you're doing both. I mean, which is so you're gonna be a triple threat, because you're pretty good athlete also. Do you dance?
I I can dance.
Right.
I like, when I was a cheerleader, I did
Mm-hmm.
gymnastics um,
Mm-hmm.
when I was little, so I can dance. I'm definitely not a professional, but I enjoy it. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I've been watching you since you were a little kid when you were acting, and you also directed something, right? Or you wrote something?
Yeah, yeah. So at the Rivoli Theater, actually, I
Right.
wrote and directed a one act, and then I
Mm-hmm.
also wrote and directed, co-directed a Christmas show later on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like to do. I just like to be creative. I like to
Right.
be creative in any way that I can. Writing, I love writing and directing and acting and singing, music, anything that I can get my hand in creatively. Honestly, is just so much fun. So yeah.
How old were you when you directed that? Because I know I went to see it, and
Oh,
when I saw your name on there, like wow. How old were you?
I think I must have been. That must have been the first one was. I want to say 16, possibly
Mm-hmm.
16, 17, or 15, 16, one around there, 15 to 17. So yeah, a couple of years ago now.
I remember when I was teaching you guitar, and you told me, I was going to bring the guitar, but you told me I was teaching you this other song. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.
Yes, yes,
That
that was the first song I
that's
had
the
to learn.
first song that you learned, right? And then you asked me a question. You said, could you play this song? And I said, well, I could play anything. And to my embarrassment, I didn't know who Taylor Swift was or the song.
Oh
So
my
when
God.
you told me that, I had to go look it up so I could teach you how to
But
play
I'll
it.
never forget what you told me though.
Mm-hmm.
That I asked you about the Taylor Swift song, you said probably, most likely, any song that you want to play, you can play with these four chords. And I was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lie. There's no way it's that easy. And then you were like, no, seriously, like, here are the chords, like, play it. And, I remember being shocked that that was the case, but
Yeah.
I've never forgotten that ever. Like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
always look up when I first started getting back into guitar after I had stopped taking lessons.
Right.
I was like, well, I want to play a song, but I literally only know these chords. And then I
Mm-hmm.
remembered what you'd said, and I was like, I looked up the songs that you can play with these four chords, and it was like, the list
Yeah.
was endless. I was like, oh my gosh, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the Beatles did it with three, so.
yeah, yeah.
So how are things? You're in the city now, right?
Yeah, I'm in the city. I mean, I come back and forth. Like, I'm upstate. I'll be upstate a little bit more, like, coming up, so that I can, like, my album. I want to perform, like, the songs live and stuff. So I'm planning on
Mm-hmm.
doing that, like, coming up in January. But yeah, recently I've been really, really focused on my music so I can get my album out,
Mm-hmm.
and doing, like, little, like, short film-ish projects with my friends, like
Mm-hmm.
the ones that you played in the beginning. And because I just graduated from acting school, like, this past summer, and
Right.
since then I've been focusing on my album and my music and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I love the city, still living the dream, so really proud of it.
I got to tell you, I am so proud of you. And your father have been, last time that I saw you, you your father is very proud. And
Oh
as proud as he feels, I feel the same way because I believe that every kid that comes through gymnastics, they my kids,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So it's like I'm a father or an uncle. Some people actually call me Uncle Pete, but
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I was so glad that you wanted me on the show because like I said, I mean, I know you say that, I learned the guitar because I was dedicated and stuff, but like you're why I had that base of guitar because of you.
Mhm.
And, I think it would have been a lot more difficult for me to get to where I am without that base. So I really feel like I owe you a lot. And of course, gymnastics, I love gymnastics. That was always so much fun. So yeah, I'm really grateful. And my dad, he's so, my parents, I always have to say I'm really like grateful and really blessed for my parents because they're so
Mhm.
supportive. They support everything that I do, no matter what. And they always have. And there's no way that I would be who I am or where I am without them. So I'm really so grateful for them. And
Mhm.
my dad, it's actually, we call him my dadager, like my dad manager. Like,
Yes,
managers, he's my dadager.
yes.
So like and he loves hearing the live music. He loves, we went down to Tennessee in August, and
Right.
I was able to perform at the Bluebird Cafe, which is like a pretty big, it's like a tourist location. Like people, my cousin told me that people spend their whole lives wanting to play at the Bluebird. And so we were there, and he was like doing the videos, and yeah, they really are my biggest supporters and the reason that I am where I am. So I'm really grateful.
That's very important to have a strong base like that, like your parents. Let me show a comment from Daryl.
Okay.
He's like one of the casting agent.
Oh wow, thank you so much. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you, Daryl. I love that.
There's another comment. Oh, flying solo, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna now I'm gonna play your song. The song that I picked to play is the one that we were talking about before, because I think that's a very important song, and everybody to listen to the lyrics. Not only your voice sounds angelic, but you gotta listen to the lyrics.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we go.
Marching on the street, fall down on your knees, watch as the world walks over you. A brand new melody, major symphony, they can't hear the music in you. Try all the time, but how can you march if they've taken your shoes? Try as you might, but what can you do if they play out of tune? Try, but I can only take so much. It might be easier to give up. Can anybody hear me crying on the inside? Can somebody take my fears away? If anybody sees me smiling on the outside, acting like it all will be okay, pretend that you don't see me, pretend that you don't hear me. I don't know much about what I am. I'm just really good at looking back. All I see are our mistakes. All I see is history repeating, like a city under fire, always bleeding, like a bullet in the night, hear the screaming, like a murder in the dark, hear the breathing, like a grenade going off without reason. We keep trying, we keep trying, we keep trying. We keep lying, we keep lying, we keep lying. We keep fighting, we keep fighting, we keep fighting. Fire with fire, can anybody hear me crying on the hillside? Can somebody take my pain away? If anybody sees me waving when the world's blind, trying to be the one to pave the way, then tell me that you see me. Tell me you can hear me. When I was lost in the dark, it was hard to believe what I'd seen now. But ignoring the spark just lets the fire breathe. If only they could see me, see me. If only they'd believe me, believe me. If only they could
I definitely heard you. I think a lot of people that was listening to the song were hearing you.
Good.
And Saoirse
Oh,
was on our show before, and she's a beauty queen. She's going down to abroad. I don't know if you know Saoirse.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. I'm really glad that you love the lyrics. Makes me really happy.
I love the lyrics also.
Thank you. I'm really glad. Yeah, actually, lyrics are when I first started writing songs, I I was like devastated because I
Mhm.
would tell like my friends and the people that I did show the songs to, I'm like, yeah, but the lyrics are terrible. Like I can't write lyrics to save my life. Like I would always be like really sad about it. And then when I went to ADA, actually, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, my
Mhm.
roommate, I showed her one of my songs or whatever, and she was like, "That's really good. You should finish that." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, it's good. Like you like it? Are you sure?" And then she now, because we actually are still roommates, and she will now, like every time she hears a song or whatever, she'll always say like, "I just love the lyrics. Like you're so good at lyrics." And it just blows my mind how sometimes you think, you know, how you can really be your like a critic for yourself. And I something that I thought I was terrible at is like her favorite part of the song. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, because when it comes from you, you always have a little bit of a doubt.
Yeah.
But then when other people are saying, because saying things about it, I remember when I was doing martial art, people used to say you're really, really good at it. I used to say no, I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And they actually convinced me, because we always trying to strive for more.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that we are our own worst critic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you don't see your talent because whatever reason you may be comparing yourself to somebody else, or somebody that already supposedly made it.
Mm-hmm.
But since you were a kid, I always noticed that you had talent, but you didn't know that you had talent.
Yeah, I remember when I would do gymnastics and I would always say I can't do it, I can't do it.
And you know that's not my word. That doesn't
I
exist.
know. That's why,
Right.
yeah. I was thinking about it just before this actually. I was remembering every time that I said it and you would say like, no, don't say you can't. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not that's a normal thing that a lot of kids do. But I can't jump in the pool when you're drowning. I have to just take you out.
yeah.
So the idea is a lot of people are doing that. I was talking about that because I'm writing on my book. I was talking about if a pool is full of people, it's like a pity party.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't go in there with them. You take them out and say, no, you actually have this. You actually could do it. So and we're the last one to notice because we've been taught not to be selfish to believe that you're so talented.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Right, right. That's so crazy because I always feel like it's kind of hypocritical because we are taught people are always on one hand people are like be yourself, like you can do whatever you want to be, like, and boosting you up, and then when you get there they're like, no, not that much, sit down. Like
Right, right,
don't
exactly.
be that confident, like just enough, okay, we don't need all that. And actually, like, that's something that I think about a lot. So, and I
Mhm.
love the metaphor, like I can't jump in there with you, I just got to pull you out. That's great.
That's right. And listen, look, people will want you to be successful. They just don't want you to be more successful than them because then
Right.
jealousy comes in. But you got to ignore that because everyone that succeeded failed thousands of times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
and if you don't trust your own self, trust other people.
Mhm.
Other people that will tell you, no, that stinks.
Yes, exactly.
But
Yeah.
not in a mean way, but in a way that to help you.
Like honest, like just being
Right,
honest. You
right.
need if you go to somebody who's always saying like no matter what, like, oh, it's fantastic, it's great, like then I mean, not everything can be perfect. Like you said, you have to fail first sometimes, and
Hmm.
that's why I really value honesty. And like a lot of like my closest friends are all very honest because they like that's how you grow. You can't
Hmm.
just be told, you're perfect all the time because you're not gonna grow that way. And you also can't be told you suck all the time because it's got to be
Right.
like, you know the truth and a balance.
Yeah, there's got to be a balance. You know,
Yeah.
whenever somebody tells you something, you accept it,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's bad or good, but then you got to check it out yourself.
Yes.
The one thing that I love about your songs is that you say it from your heart, and that's coming from you. And honesty is the best thing that you could buy is honesty.
Yes.
Regardless of whether somebody else will like it or not, that doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel when you created this song.
Yes.
So I know that you doubted yourself, but the minute I heard those lyrics, I said, those are powerful lyrics. I think that every teenager that is going through this should be listening to your song. And I'm not saying that just because I know you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes me really happy. I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, we all been there. Trust
Yeah.
me. Even when you walk around with confidence, we all been there where we doubted ourselves. And here you are creating this. I'm so proud of you. I can't even begin to tell you. I can't. When I saw, oh yeah, you did one song, and you did that one song, and I wanted to bring you in then.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I look back, and it's a whole album. I said, whoa, when did that happen?
Yeah, because I actually I had been since the quarantine and everything, when we first started quarantining, that initial period where nobody went outside, all I did was write songs
Mhm.
the whole time. So I had such a bank. And then my next step was well, I kind of want to, that's where the whole producing thing came in, and I had to self-teach how to do that. So that took some time. But now that I since I put out the first song, and I've learned a little bit more about music production as well since then, but since I put out that first song, it was kind of I just did it. I just put out a song. And then after that, I was I want to do it again and again.
Of course.
A couple more, and it just yeah. It's so fun. I love it.
Who did the other music, like the piano and?
That was me. Yeah.
That was you. So you, and I noticed that you also had some background singing. That was you also, right?
Yep. 100% me. I did the piano. I wrote everything and I also played it. So all of the lyrics, the melody, the harmonies, the instrumentals, I wrote all of that, and then I also recorded all of it.
You did it at home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing that what you have done. You know.
Thank you.
You know, I didn't teach you that.
No, but you gave me the foundation to even start, because actually every song, with the exception of one or two on my album, started from guitar. So I wouldn't have been able to without that bass.
Well, that is very creative. I'm glad that you did that. Now you have to get some people to play background for you.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Is your brother still playing? I know he wanted to do the bass.
You know what is so funny that you asked that is literally, I put out my album and my brother texted me, and he was like, I'll have to break out because he does drums and guitar and he has his bass and everything. He was like, I'll have to break out the guitar or the drums and we'll do a duet. And I was like, yes. Do that. You said it, now you have to follow through. Now you have to do it. And now it's on here and everybody sees it. So, Michael, you have to.
There you go, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the door.
Oh.
So what do you got next? I mean, now that you got that fever now, I'm sure you're going to create another album.
Yep. I've already planned out my first 4 albums. So I know I'm a little over ambitious, but once I start, I can't stop, and I don't want to. So I'm glad that I have so yeah, I am already working on the second album and also just some singles in between them. But for right now, I really want to focus on performing the songs that I do have, because up until this point, I mean, I've performed a little bit, in Tennessee and stuff like that, but I would like to do more live performances and like you said, get other people to play. And I think that would be really cool. So that's kind of where I'm looking right now. But I am planning the second album, so we'll see.
All right. Okay. Let me see what else we have here.
Oh yeah. My music is on SoundCloud. It's on Facebook. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, all of that. And actually, I have a page on Facebook that's just my name. So I think you can see my name somewhere in one of these corners, perhaps. You can just look that up on Facebook, and it'll bring you to my page, and you can like that if you want. And then there's a link. Spotify, Apple Music to download and stream and everything. And there's a link that you can click, and it'll bring you to all of my stuff. So if you just type in my name, you'll find me.
Yeah, the song that I play on your promo, I got it from iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I got it from iTunes, so
yeah.
So you could go to iTunes and get it there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I can't wait for you to come up and perform up here.
Yeah.
So even if I had to pull it up myself, I know that your father would be.
Yeah. Oh, Lauren James.
You can see that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you're proud. Hi. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I definitely will be performing live and I'll let you know when I do. Obviously, that would be awesome.
We love Lori. Lori's a very talented person as well. I'm glad that you joined us, Lori. Anyone has any other question for her?
Oh yeah, questions.
Okay. Megan said she wants your autograph.
You can have it, girl, for free, obviously.
Oh.
Hi.
I made it.
Look who's joining us.
I made it.
I'm so glad. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Look.
Oh, who's on? Oh, did we answer Saoirse's question about where to find Mekayla's music?
Yeah, we did. And we're gonna, my wife does all that, but she puts the link and everything on at the end of the show. And
well, do we know what it is?
Yeah, we know what it is.
I heard you say you have a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's easy enough to find.
And I also have I actually have a Linktree link that links to my website and all of my
Linktree. Okay, so that makes it easy.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Oh, that's a good question from Saoirse. What's the first musical instrument you played?
So I consider singing a musical instrument, and there's a whole video about that on my YouTube channel as well if you're more interested in that. But other than singing, I started taking piano lessons first. But I was always whenever there was a sound that could be considered music, I was always trying to figure it out. So, but I think technically piano and singing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Daryl. I'm glad I'm home too.
That was a long trip. I need water. She was doing a commercial today, so for Pennsylvania. I don't know where it's going to play, but it's going to be someplace. Hi, Crystal. Glad you're home. I'm glad she's home too. And the food that I'm cooking in the back, it smells delicious.
Oh, I love the question that Lori James asked. Would you share with us the importance of music education for all students and what benefits it offers? Oh,
that's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that music education sometimes in today's society and world is taken for granted and sometimes pushed aside. I think a lot of arts are actually, they're not always taken very seriously. But music is so important for so many reasons. It affects you emotionally. It affects you mentally, and growing up, having musical instruments to learn about and having a hobby like that was so important. And they always say that playing a musical instrument is like a workout for the brain. And I think sometimes people forget that your brain needs a workout,
That's right.
I honestly, it's so important. I wouldn't be where I was. I took voice lessons and piano lessons and violin lessons and guitar lessons. And, that's why I'm where I am. So important.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah. Not everyone's going to grow up to be a musician, but everyone should have a little bit of music.
Yeah.
A little taste of it growing up.
I agree. 100%. And there's always, even just listening to music. It's I don't know. I listen to music 24/7, It's different kinds of music affects your mood if you're feeling a certain way. if you just need to get up and dance, like play a happy song, music is really, really important, I think. And like you said, you don't need to go into it as a career to enjoy it and to have it a part of your life. For sure.
Love that.
Let me see.
Love that.
Yeah.
You mean to that? Yes.
For sure.
I just can't get over it. You okay?
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why that makes so much sense what she just said is because I heard you guys talking about how, Mekayla, you were writing like crazy during the shutdown. Yeah. And it was like we were not civil. There were no live performances. There was no musical. There was no theater. So no one was on the stage. There were no film. And that really makes us civil.
Yeah.
And we went a little crazy for a while. And I'm not saying that saying it lightly, because I know a lot of people did struggle with like mental health issues and things like that. And what music education and music just in general means to people is so important.
Yes, for sure. And actually, because I went through my second year of schooling at acting school at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, I went through that second year during the whole during last year. I just graduated in June, and one of the shows that I was in ended up being like a Zoom show. It was like, it's so weird how that, yeah, you get it. I'm sure you get it. It's a thing now, like Zoom productions, they're things. And it was Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, and the character that I played was Feste, and Feste is the clown / musician. So my director had me playing like a million different instruments, and it was so fun to be able to do it. And I remember her saying when I was like, so I wrote the songs actually for that as well. And I was like, so I wrote this song, like, tell me what you think of it, blah, blah, blah. And I played it for her and the rest of my cast. And she said, it's just so nice to hear live music again. Yeah. And I was like, exactly. It's so important, and you just take it for granted when you have it. It's just like everything, if you have it, you take it for granted. When you miss it, you really miss it. You really do.
Yeah.
And when you say Zoom performance, it sort of doesn't even go together. But when you're actually a part of a Zoom performance and you just get to give all that you have inside and working with other actors, it is so fulfilling.
Yeah, it's amazing how its acting evolved because of the situation. And we were talking about that in like classes and stuff. We would talk about, the industry is ever changing always anyway. But, it has to change so quickly to keep up with the times, because entertainment and music and the arts are really so much more important than people usually think about, So it's, COVID, Zoom plays, and it just evolved like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people were planning to give up during COVID, but and some people became very creative. As a matter of fact, a lot of the people that we had on the show either wrote books or wrote, like you did, and created some television and some other stuff. It's important that you don't let anything stop you.
Yes.
They could slow you down, but don't let anything stop you. Just go forward. And I'm so glad, you have a lot of songs that went on. We subscribe. If you see, you're gonna see Tweed Talks. We subscribe to your channel on YouTube, and you have a lot of songs.
Yeah, the album has. The album has 11 songs. Well, 12, because I have an instrumental like bonus track. I call it. It's just like a 3-minute guitar song that I wrote, but. Which I plan going forward. I'd always like to have like one instrumental track in all of my albums, because when I was when I was learning piano and stuff, I was composing piano pieces, and I have like piano / violin duets that I've written that I would love to like put out, so I'd love to be able to do that. But yeah, there's 12 songs in total that are completely like mine, and then there's covers and stuff on YouTube as well. But
yeah, so one of the covers that you did. Let me ask you, so what kind of recording did you use? Because you said you recorded it at home, right?
Yeah. So actually, right now, I have like in 2018, I got a job and I bought like a home studio like situation. So I have like all of the, like the mics and the like. I wonder if you can see it. This is my microphone.
Okay.
So that's my mic that I use, and I have like right now I'm just using GarageBand for like recording software for my digital audio workspace, but I'm planning on moving up to like, maybe Pro Tools or Logic, something that's a little more industry standard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
If
so
you learn how to use Pro Tools, let me know.
okay, yeah. It's funny because when I started doing this, I looked into Pro Tools and I looked into Ableton, and everybody who says like Pro Tools or Ableton or like GarageBand, they were like, "How did you start?" Because I started with Ableton, with like just the not the full version, and I was so confused. Like it took me like a year to understand. And I still wasn't happy with what I was recording. I was like, this is here, but it's not good. And it's not good. It's not something I could be proud of. I use the word good like loosely because that's a matter of opinion, but it wasn't something I could be proud of. So a friend, like I heard about GarageBand and that it was like easy to learn mostly. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. Ableton is giving me headaches, so I'll give it a try. And I watched a couple of videos on YouTube about like how to music production, whatever. And I had all the equipment, thankfully, from when I had bought it, so I didn't have to get anything else. And so all the songs that I wrote right now are from GarageBand, but I'm working on moving up in the world. It's a process. It
is. It really is.
A lot.
And how did you end up getting your album on iTunes?
Okay, actually, so this is really great. If anybody wants to put their music on like platforms or anything, it's super important. So I use a distributor called DistroKid, and what DistroKid does is you can just pay them a fee, and it's like $20 for the year. When I paid for it anyway, it might have gone up, I don't know, but $20 for the year. And all you have to do once you write your music and you like make it an MP3, you just upload it to DistroKid and they put it in all the stores for you, like Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, like all of them. It just gets distributed that way. So I use DistroKid. It's like super, super easy for anybody who wants to.
It sounds like it. Like it.
And it's the best. They have other competitors or I guess distributors who do the same thing, but it's like, $60 for an album or like $10 per single. And DistroKid is $20 for the entire year, and you can do as many as you want, no matter what. It's it's amazing. It's amazing.
And did they do all the other things like Spotify and things like that?
Yeah, that's how it gets on Spotify. You just upload it to the DistroKid website, and then it goes on Spotify. And it also does like you can pay an extra fee if you want like cover songs. So like I have one cover that's on Spotify and Apple Music, because you can't make money off of covers without paying the artist a fee. So what you do with DistroKid is you just pay them. It's like I think it's like a $10 fee, but it's for the whole year again, or I think it's for just the year. And you can do covers, and then they do the splits from there. Like you tell them who the original artist is, and they handle this like splitting of the money. They do.
Oh, nice! Wow,
yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah, and if you write, it's super convenient, and I love it. And if you co-write with someone else too, you can say 50% of this song is mine, 50% of this song is theirs, and it does the splits for them as well. Like it's crazy.
You see, you just taught people a lesson. That's why I asked you that question.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. That's a lot of useful information right there.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you asked.
Maybe someone's using that old one that you were using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you asked that question, because that's where I was. The reason that I feel like it took me, I know it doesn't feel like so long but it feels like a long time for me because I've been wanting to do this forever. The reason it took me so long to put out my music was because I don't understand the music industry at all. I just want to write music and put it out. So learning all of this, honestly, was it was really hard for me, and I would love to share that information. Like if anybody has questions and they are like where I was, you can like message me on my Facebook or like Instagram, whatever, and I will answer all of your questions, because the way I do it now is like so much easier. I just wish someone would have told me. You know what I mean? I will tell you.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes trial and error and literally stumbling through hours of trying to edit and copy and paste and crop and is the best teacher. And YouTube.
Yes.
And YouTube.
For sure.
You know, we asked one of those the music guests that we had in the past, and we said to him, which is your favorite song? And he said, that's like asking me if I have 9 kids, which one is your favorite? Because you give birth to them.
Yeah.
So they're all your favorite.
Yeah. I could totally see how that. My favorite song actually like changes depending on how new it is. Because you know how when a song plays on the radio, like you get kind of tired of it, like it too much. The newer my song is, the more my favorite is. But then once it becomes like, once it reaches a certain age, it joins the rest of them, I feel like. Because some of the songs on my album, I wrote like I started writing a couple years ago. And then other ones I wrote like 2 days before I put the album out. So.
Wow.
That's awesome. You have anything else? Anybody out there want to ask another question? This is we learned a lot just now, you know, from producing and how you did that.
Yeah, I love questions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Elton John said that his favorite song. Yeah.
I didn't know that you could see the messages. Wow.
Oh yeah, I can see the messages. Surprise.
I can see the comments.
I learned something else.
That's so interesting. I love that. Yeah, I feel like it's like when you create something new, you kind of want to share it with the world a lot more. I mean, it's like I'll show someone my song and then, you know, you get the feedback from it and then you just want to like do it again and again and again and again. So the newer something is, the more people I can show because the less people who have heard it. And I'm like, listen to this. Look at this. That's interesting.
Yeah. The new kid is always the one that requires the most attention. Because,
I love that.
So
I love that.
Yeah, the last kid is always the one, you know, you got to teach him to walk and you got to put him out there and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, learn how to change your diapers and
yeah, for sure.
Okay, let me see. We have Lori James again.
Life in the business. I love that saying. Share what life in the business is really like. Yeah, exactly what you said. It's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. You know, I feel like people who are pursuing acting and music and stuff, they always hear people say like, oh, it's hard, you know, it's difficult, it takes years and stuff. But I mean, at least in my case, you never really believe it until you're there. You know what I mean? Like I was always like, yeah, sure, it's hard, but like nothing stopped me yet, you know? And then you get here and you're like, wow, this is different. And, you know, it's kind of like what you said earlier, Crystal, about how sometimes failure and like learning your own lesson is like your best teacher. Sometimes you really just have to do it for yourself so that you know what it's like. Yeah. But my journey has been a lot of, you know, trial and error, mistakes, and like, well, things that I saw as mistakes and then ended up being my best teacher. And yeah, it's not the instant gratification, like success that everybody sees, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, you know, once you wrote your first song, that was a success because people had different definition of success.
Yes.
And the thing is like when you wrote that song, you succeeded.
Yes.
And then you got excited about doing other songs, you know, and then you grow from it. And it doesn't have to be for anyone. It has to be for you first.
Yeah.
And then other people will join on that.
Exactly. I actually said on an interview, I was like last June, I was I had an interview on a radio show and they asked me, you know, what, like, honestly, I just completely lost my train of thought. What was the last thing you said?
Yeah, I lost my...
Okay, cool.
I was talking. I forgot what I was saying. We'll go
I
back
know,
and
right?
watch.
It's like I think my brain just got wiped for a second. But
No, that's okay.
okay,
Well,
so
when you post another comment, when she
oh
mid,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, I did get a little
She
bit
came
of
back to
reading
her.
the comment.
yeah. But that last question that you just posted, what's your favorite musical
Musical
experience?
experience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
What's your favorite musical experience?
Yeah, musical. I'm gonna assume that means like musical, like theater. I would assume like a play, like musical, but
Well, yeah, let's go with that. Tell us that.
I mean, I've been doing musicals and stuff ever since I was 6, and at the Rivoli Theater mostly, as I've mentioned, love that place. And I have to say, one of my favorites is probably a couple years back. We did a show called Nevermore, and it was the Nevermore, the imaginary life and mysterious death of Edgar Allan Poe. It was all about Edgar Allan Poe, and the lyrics and the songs and stuff were written in like verse, the way that his poems, like it was so interesting, and the music was very like eerie because a lot of his stuff was eerie, and I just really enjoyed that because it's like you get to play different characters, and it was so cool, and I love the music from that. Now it's like some of my favorite musical songs ever.
Hmm. This guy is pestering me all the time, so I'm gonna put his message.
Okay. Yeah, this guy again. Oh, I've seen him around a couple times. No.
What do we call him, Dajan?
Yeah, dadager.
Dajan.
My dadager.
Dajan.
Yeah, my dad manager.
Dajan. Okay.
I'm gonna get him a shirt that says that. Where do you get the material for your songs? Well, the songs that I wrote that are out now, like on the album, they all came from either a personal experience or a thought that I've had, or like a lot of the times I'll think of something like just one line, like a phrase that interests me and I really like it. I think it's like a deep thought or whatever, and then that becomes a whole song. So it kind of just comes from anything. Sometimes I'll even just be talking to people, and if they say something that I'm like, please hold. I need to jot that down. Give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead. Like what you said with the pool and like pulling them out. That just created a whole image in my mind. So I'm like, wow, this is really like, this is great stuff. Everything inspires me. Everything that I think just is interesting. It just hits me, and I keep it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. Then you
I love
develop
that.
it.
I love that.
There's our casting agent.
Oh, I didn't know that. Musical, the cast, really, wow. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Daryl knows a lot of things. He's a study of everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he knows a lot of things. He's probably on the computer right now looking it up.
yeah, the Elton John comment came from Daryl as well. Very informed. I love that. Yeah.
Well, listen, this was a great conversation. We talked for a long time because I usually we have a host chat, and then I was going to announce some things, but we're going to do it at the end because I wanted to talk to you so quickly. I'm glad that my wife has made it on.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you made it on. And we want to wish you the best of luck.
The best. Yes.
The best of luck. We're very proud of you. I know that you're going. We knew since you were 6 that you were going to be a big star one day.
Oh, thank you so much. It really means a lot that to even be on this show. Like I said it before, Crystal, but thank you so much for having me on. I really am so appreciative.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love sharing this space with artists that have been in the business, up and coming artists, the whole gamut.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love what you're doing with Tweed Talks. I love it.
Thank you. And we want everybody to go and buy this song. Don't just go on YouTube and listen to it. And if you listen to it on YouTube, that's good too. But go buy it. Support the artists.
Yes, I'll make
That's
sure I
very
post
important.
Mekayla's links for you guys to connect with her, to purchase her music, and to start to follow her career.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who's listening and who's been around asking questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Mekayla.
And there's one more message before we say bye to you. Well,
So
she's talking about my wife. She was on your phone, right?
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for doing Tweed Talk. And then when you finish your next, 10 more albums, we'll have you back on
Yeah.
the next one. And
Yes.
maybe you could play live for us.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I will pull my guitar and accompany you. You just got to tell
No,
me.
no, we're gonna let the artist shine.
Oh,
I
okay.
know,
We're gonna let the
no, I
artist
would love
shine.
to. No, accompany me. I would love it. Although I
I
have,
don't know how you would cue that up because it is gonna be off.
I was just gonna
I've
say
done
that.
some Zoom shows before.
I literally was just gonna say that. I would love to have you accompany me, but Zoom probably isn't the best, or like a chat. It's gonna be.
Well, this is Streamlight.
Yeah.
StreamYard.
Graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
We'll try it one day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mekayla.
Thank you, Mekayla.
Now we're going to do some business over
Have
here.
a good night.
All right.
All right, good night. Thank you.
Night.
Okay, so
The Christmas tree looks lovely.
doesn't it? Now we got some things to talk about. Let me see
You
what.
just, am I in your way?
No, honey, it's just we I can't reach the thing. Okay, now this guy right here, I'm gonna show you.
You decorated so nicely.
Okay.
Why does it smell like something's burning? Like you made
Now this guy right here on the left, that's my brother,
yes.
and he's gonna be opening. He's gonna be opening for a play this weekend. I just wrote it here, and the play is called Torch.
Torch?
Torch, yes.
Torch. Torched.
Torch,
Torched.
like burn.
Past tense.
Yeah, torch.
Yes.
And he's going to be opening this weekend, and unfortunately, we have a competition, so I won't be able to make that. But my brother is a really good performer, so
Where's the
don't miss that.
performance? Don't miss it when.
Don't miss that. I'm going to tell you in a second. It's at the Pregans
I
Theater
have no
in the
idea
Bronx.
how to say that.
Is it the Pregans or
Who knows how to say it?
Pregons?
The Burgones Theater in the Bronx.
Yeah, it's in the Bronx, and it's going to be this weekend. And the dates were changed from last week, so it's going to be the 16th, the 17th, the 18th. There's going to be two shows on the 17th and the 18th, and Thursday night, the 19th, Friday, and Saturday night gigs, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. So if you in the Bronx and anywhere near there, make sure you catch it. He's a really good performer, not just because he's my brother. I didn't even like rap, and then I started listening to my brother. Say, hey, this is pretty good. And I wouldn't say it just because he's my brother. And then another business that we have is one of the movies that you did, The Hating Game,
Yes.
is now playing on video on demand.
Video on demand in select theaters.
Select theaters.
And on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And I saw it and I really enjoyed the movie, not just because my wife is there. So make sure you go and catch that.
Yes, it's an adorable rom-com.
Okay, that Christmas tree looks good.
Yep.
Okay, so people, thank you for joining us. And next, on the 27th, we're going to have, how do you say, Borscht Belt.
Borscht
Belt.
We're going to have several guests on talking about the Borscht Belt. Yes.
One of them being this historian.
Mr. John Conway, yes.
Yes, that's one of them. And a couple of people that I have worked with when I worked at the hotel are going to join us. And some of the people that were in the movie Kutchers are going to be joining us. And that's going to be an interesting show. So make sure you tune in.
Very interesting. The last show of the year.
Last show of the year.
We're going out with a bang.
Break.
We're going out with a bang, y'all.
And next year we bring in some big guests. Some big guests in every sense of the word. It's going to be a surprise. So make sure you tune in. And with that, we're going to say love, peace, and harmony.
Harmony.
And have a good holiday. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye bye.